Aloha, happy Aloha Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Happy Aloha Wednesday. We are here and I see Roberta in chat. So that means we got people hanging out in chat. I love it. And yes, the dogs are very, very happy because we've got pork and chicken sausage sticks. I also have their favorite thing stuck in there for when they get really out of control today, which won't last long when you see this happening already. They're already like, hey, give us more treats. Please, please. I want more treats. So, how are you guys going? We've been hanging out. I was hanging out over on another channel before this. In fact, hello, Butterfly Kisses. You were over there also, and Sleuth was over there. And hopefully we'll have some stuff we can share over the next couple weeks and months with y'all related to that. But in the meantime, let me bring up Miss Sleuth Mom. Hello, 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 Sleuth. How you doing, my dear?
I'm good. How are you?
I
I
am
just realized I
good.
didn't. I meant to turn on my camera, and I totally didn't even plug it in.
Oh
Sorry.
no,
It
it's
it
not.
just
No.
dawned on me, like, hey, I'm not on camera because I waved.
Hi there. How you doing? Oh wait, who am I waving? Yeah, exactly. Well, it's hard. That's why I keep wanting to get a desktop because I have my camera hooked up to my laptop. But if I go taking my laptop into my room to play games at night, I've been wanting to play Baldur's Gate, which just came out, and everyone's talking about it. So I'm like, oh, I guess I should try play it. But then I got to unplug my microphone. I got to unplug my camera, and then you got to replug everything in.
Right.
It's so humbug. So humbug.
I'm waiting
So
for a mount to come in. It was supposed to be here on Thursday, and it's still not here. But for my second monitor, I have like a dual mount coming so that I can reposition my camera into a better location because I hate that I am always looking at the opposite side of the screen basically because my chat is on the
right?
right, you know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
And I my camera is always on the left because of the way that my desk is set up right now because, my sewing machine. So,
Exactly. Exactly. You got priorities in life. I know I'm like right now thinking I want an L-shaped desk so that I can be doing stuff like diamond painting, okay, on one side and not have, because right now I'm literally on a table that is as wide as the screen. That's literally how
oh, wow,
wide it
yeah.
is. It's my mom's old sewing table. And
Mhm.
also I'm like, okay, but I want to get a second, not camera, screen, because I think you're right. It'd be so much easier to share news stories and stuff like that if I
It's
wasn't
nice
have
it's nice too with, like, the volume boosting thing that I have because you have to share your entire screen while you're doing it, and so I have the one that's set up just for that purpose. Um,
Mm,
but, like I
that
said, it's just kinda
makes
sitting off to the side right now, and so it's really awkward to try to read from.
right.
Um, yeah, so anyways.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, I was giving us some time because I know YouTube had to get the notifications out to people and all that. So we got a bunch of people who are getting their notifications now. So just thought we'd say some highs. I know we said hello to Miss Roberta. First in chat award goes tonight to Roberta. And Butterfly Kisses and Red Rock. How you doing, Red Rock? And by the way, Red Rock, I don't know if I've ever asked you this. Is your name Red Rock after Red Rocks, the concert place in Colorado? I used to love going there when I was a kid. Oh my gosh, it was one of the best concert venues around. I
I
loved
always
it.
just assumed it's because she has that picture right there, and
Sure,
it's
Red
like
Rock.
a red
Yeah,
rock in the background, I think.
that
Like a
could be.
mountain, maybe? I don't know.
That could be. Yeah, I'd love to find. Yeah, because it's so. Oh my gosh, who? I love watching how people come up with their names. What is it that you do that leads you to? Shoot, we know like Sleuth Mom, definitely. Or no, Red Rocks of Utah. Okay, there you go. Okay, that makes sense. We get red dirt out here. We actually have this dirt here and on Kauai pretty heavily, that the dirt is so red that it will stain your shirt. We use it to actually do tie dye on shirts. It's just, oh my gosh, it soaks into everything. Well, thank you, Red Rock, for telling us. And there is Hope. Hello, 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 Hope and Ramblin' Rome. And Cooter, we got a Cooter in the house. Hello, Cooter, how you doing? Jordan, hey, Jordan, how you doing, my dear? And let's see. Here she goes. There is. Here she goes. Every single time I'm like, Here she goes. Here she goes again. What? Are you growling? Ah, okay. So how you doing? Here she goes. Arizona has red rock or red dirt. Red dirt also. It just amazes me the difference in minerals and what it does to dirt. Important information out there for sure. So, okay. So, anyhow, Sleuth, you and I were trying to figure out what to cover today. I woke up to some news out of Texas, actually. That, and sorry if you're hearing a dog barking, someone is really trying to be annoying right now. Um, but I woke up and I was looking around, and one of the first things that popped out was "Hello Cupcake." Yeah, that's the first thing that popped up was "Hello Cupcake," and but about a kidnapping, a double kidnapping out of Texas, San Antonio, actually. Um, guys, put a one in chat if you've heard about the kidnapping out of San Antonio. It's a mom and dad who there was armed intruders came into the house and went and grabbed mom and dad and left a bunch of children at home alone afterwards. And Red Rock, it's called Toucan of St. George. Oh, okay. I'm going to take a picture of that, not notify that there because I want to go research that later. And Cupcake may fall asleep, but we'll try to stay awake. Okay, I'm going to take a picture of the name of that because I want to go look at that. No one here. See, and that's what got me is Sleuth. Had you heard about? I know you're typing in all sorts of fun numbers right now. Had you heard about this before I sent you the
I
information?
didn't. No, this was completely new to me, and I was thinking like, "Oh my gosh." And then I read through the article and I was even more mind blown because it's terrifying, especially for these 5 children that were left behind.
Yeah. They're saying it's 5 children under the age of 17. So 5 under 17, it's probably their children. So they're all probably how much apart? I mean, you've got some young children who probably wit now this happened at like 6 in the morning is when the phone call came into the police. Um, and also let me go ahead. I'm gonna bring up the article so we can kind of get ourselves understanding what happened with this, and then we can do some talking and try to figure things out. Because there's a lot of thought processes going on in this. There's very little information coming out with this, including family pictures. We don't know what the mom and dad even look like at this point. So it's not like your normal, even though they're saying it's a kidnapping, it's not being treated where if you see some like we see in so many other things. This is a crime, full force crime from the get-go. And there's a lot of potentials as to what could be behind it. But as they were saying here, so San Antonio police are trying to southwest side of the home. Now, let me show you guys. I'm going to switch something out real quickly and show you guys the map of where this happened. See, this is when it would help to have multiple screens.
No, yeah,
Uh,
fantastic though, because I was getting ready to pull it up in case you hadn't, and so that's awesome that you're gonna pull it up because I am
trying to get
yeah,
that one. Okay, here we go. So this is Texas here, San Antonio. So this is on the south, kind of almost due south side of San Antonio. And so right on the outskirts suburbs. And actually, guys, this neighborhood looks fairly nice to me. This is Mission Bell. So it was here on this street, okay, somewhere within this block. And if we come down, okay, you got your Dollar General store there,
well, now you know it's a high
Mission.
class neighborhood.
Oh,
Got the BG
yes.
there. Just kidding.
Mhm. You got it, you got it. But yeah, no, it really, I mean, yeah, body by you see, you got Creekside. It's a newer area. Let me actually there it is. Let me come down here. See if I can get to a walking view of this so you can actually see. Okay. So it's a newish neighborhood. Everything is really, I
Oh yeah,
mean,
these are nice homes.
these are nice. This is not,
Mhm.
and I can actually, the house, oh, well, let's see. The house that it actually happened on has a Lone Star sign above the garage, kind of where that picture is or something. They have a little
Mhm.
Lone Star thing. But looking at
Okay.
these houses, they're really, yeah, it's a new neighborhood. You can definitely tell that. Okay, it's looking like it's not torn down. Okay, taking a look at the cars. Let me see.
It's just not what you would think. So, like, I
No,
know that like, okay, so my mind, immediately goes to what type of activities could these parents have been involved in that would have led to,
bingo.
them being kidnapped. I mean, that's not a very you don't hear that
Two of
very
them.
often. Yeah,
Yes,
in front of their children so that the children are able to call and be like, "Oh my god, this just happened."
right.
And so that's where my mind starts questioning what's the behind the story scenes? Like, is
Story.
this mafia? Like, did they have gambling debts?
Drugs.
Was there drugs? Was there, you know what I mean? Any type of things like that. And I hate to, I'm not trying to victim shame. I'm just
No,
running
no, but it's
curiosities
true.
about why.
Yeah. Oh, here shows you these are brand new. They've got more construction going on behind it also. And that's where a lot of the discussions have gone. I mean, we are talking Texas. You got a lot of drug cartel type things going on here. This was basically two, okay, taking us back to the story. I'll tell you the story while you're kind of looking at that picture right there because we have no pictures. Yeah, exactly, Red Rock. Could it be cartel related? But basically, what happened was sometime this morning in the 3100 block of Mission Bell, the suspects kicked down the door, entered the home. Okay, and they were armed. These two suspects were armed. Okay, went and grabbed the two adults, mom and dad, then fled the scene. They left all five children at the house. Um, so basically, the phone call came in at around six, right after 6 a.m. So these kids were probably woken up on top of all this. I mean, the timing of this really early in the morning. And but also a time, I'll be honest with you, can almost guarantee a higher chance of both parents being home because there's probably a higher chance of both of them being everyone's waking up for the day, they're busy, they've got all those things going on. Um, so yeah, they're basically saying the call came in when they got there, they found all children there. None of the kids were hurt. Nothing was done to any of the children. And Red Rock, that's a good point. Would the cartel take the whole family? And so yeah, it's if they're looking for money or something like that, you would think they would leave one of the adults there and do something. So there's a lot of questions going on with this. Hey Donna, how you doing, my dear? Um, the one thing that the police are really looking at right now is the actual camera. There's a lot of camera. Think about it.
Oh,
This
yeah, I was gonna
area,
say there
oh
has
yeah,
to be Ring doorbells and stuff like that.
yeah. And so there should be, and that's why I'm a little concerned that it's been how many hours? 6 a.m. and we're not getting any pictures of possible, okay, suspects, nothing like that. It seems like this morning everything came out. Okay, all these stories started coming out, and then everything just stopped. So I'm not sure if there was more phone calls that came in later. Something has happened to make them go completely quiet at this point. But I couldn't help but think this evening, there's all these children who are now going to sleep. It is what 5 hours plus my so 9:15 at night, and they're having to go to sleep knowing that mom and dad are somewhere. Who knows what's going on with them?
Well, and my
Cupcake.
question
Yeah,
is too,
yeah.
because this says okay, so the one thing that I'm looking at right now, it says that police
Mhm.
believe that the 2 are the children's parents. My question is, okay, so we don't know the nationality of these children. We don't know if they're English speaking or not. Is that probably part of that? I mean, could that play into why they're not getting like, why they believe that they're their parents, but it's not been confirmed yet? I'm also curious as to why we aren't getting names of the victims. of the
Yeah.
people who are missing. That's very, very strange to me unless the police have some type of other information and
Mhm.
they're worried about, you know, other people trying to get involved and they need to handle
Right.
d I don't know.
Well, one of the first things I saw is police came out and said, others do not have anything to worry about. This is an individual incident. You don't have to worry. Now, yeah, they tend to do that. I think we hear that quite often. And, but what leads them to that?
Mhm,
Okay, did the children recognize someone? Okay, were they even connected with this whole thing? Okay, they said, okay, well, I'm showing you one of the articles right here. They roped off the area. People went in, started looking for clues. Okay, but they declined to release the names of the couple. And it just seems if you're trying to look for things, there would be more information coming out right now, especially if there's ring camera footage somewhere. You would think they'd have to have some sort, even if it's blurry,
mhm.
okay, video of someone running out the door. Okay, we know how that works. Hey Jet's mom, how you doing, my dear? Wrong address. Red Rock. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things. Now, early on, they did say that they felt the couple left with the people in a white SUV. And again, we get that information. Nothing else after that. Hello, Cristola. How you doing, my dear? Let me go ahead and here. Let me switch things here so you can see. I'm going to play some of the video so you can see the area. Wrong victim. It's so, I don't know. This is one of those cases. It's scary to think that you could have people just barge into a house, okay, run off with two adults, and no further information shared. You would have thought by the 5 or 6 o'clock news that night we would be getting updates. And I've been looking for updates all day and I'm not getting any updates whatsoever.
So, there is a person inside of the comments, which hold on, because we don't know how reliable this is gonna be, but
Exactly.
there is a person inside of the comments underneath of this sharing the photo of a couple and saying
Oh,
that it's their brother and sister that were kidnapped
huh. Interesting, interesting.
and
Now,
asking if anyone has information to please contact them. And so I
'cause
wonder.
that's what I was looking for all day was someone because usually family or
Yeah, do
someone
you want
is
me to
gonna.
show you?
Yeah, that'd be
Or you
great.
want okay. I was
You
gonna say I
know,
can show you it does say that these people live in San Antonio.
well,
It
yeah,
does look like I mean, I wonder if I can look and see if they have a picture of that house at all. You know how sometimes people, like, take
that
pictures of
might be, yeah.
themselves?
And we never know at this point. Sometimes people love to throw out things and try to connect themselves to a story. So you never know.
Right.
And that's something we always got to be careful about. But I have found it interesting that there's been usually
Mm,
when something like this happens, you would think family would be jumping on it and be like, you know what, like this
yeah,
person, my sister, my brother, okay, please
somebody.
guys, get the word out. Help us get the
Now,
word
it
out if
does
you've
look like
seen it.
this lady has 5 kids.
Okay,
This
so
so
it's
this might be her, like, I'm looking through her
true.
Facebook right now, and it's several different children in the pictures, and the oldest one looks like she may be 16, 17,
Okay.
somewhere in
And
there,
that's
and
about
then the
where we're
youngest
being told.
looks young, you know what I mean?
Oh God.
So, I'm I don't know. Let me just show you. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
show you.
yeah, go ahead,
So
go
this
ahead.
is sorry.
You're
This
gonna
may
stop
not be them,
screen.
you guys.
Yeah,
This is in the news articles from one of the articles here. And so, these 2 or no, these 2 here
those two in the
are the
back. Okay,
couple. Mhm.
got it.
So, it looks like yeah,
Oh
and
boy. And
they're saying, "My brother and sister for 20 years, they also the godparents of my son. Yes, they're a couple." So, I don't know. So this may or may not be them.
Yeah. So where a lot of it, I just keep hoping. I mean, 10 o'clock news should be coming up soon in what, 40 minutes for those of you in the
Mhm.
central time zone. And yet, no, so far, actually, let me go through and I'm going to pull this back up so you guys can see the area. Um, where are the kids? Cristola, the kids we know are safe. Now, does that mean they've been pulled out? Family members come and are staying with them somewhere? They went to go stay with family? Are they in, okay, CPS type? Because we don't know. Nothing's being shared on that level at all. I'm
Goodness,
hoping
I'm gonna tell you
family.
something. I just found another picture, sorry.
Yeah.
It looks like they potentially have an entire army of children. Like, I found a photo of them sitting with goodness, I would say the oldest is probably in her early 20s, and the
Oh,
youngest
wow.
is, like, infant, posted 46 weeks ago, and it's them on a rock. It's supposed to be them and their family, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Could be
10
two
total.
two people who got
Maybe
together with,
combined. Yep.
yeah, yeah, kind of Brady Bunch type family.
Mhm.
So it could very well be.
I mean,
So
it could be nephews, nieces, something along those
yeah,
lines, but
but that's
yeah, I don't
family.
know.
And that's one thing I can say about Texas. Whenever I'm in Texas, what I've loved about Texas is families come together. You do have that extended family type situation. Um, so we're kind of sitting here looking at the area and all.
Here it is. Here we
Yeah.
go.
And let me see here. Let this
Them doing a
ah,
yard sale outside of their
okay.
house.
That looks like the house to me. Okay, let me stop sharing this and pull up what you just shared because that looks like the same house actually too.
Yep. So
So
this is
that
them.
is the same house. That's
That's
them. That's them.
devastating. They do. They have lots of babies. Like, look, this is 2020, and I mean,
Um,
they've had babies since then. Oh, that's so heartbreaking.
and it's because like we were saying at the beginning, we don't know what the thought process is behind this. What led up to this type of
This is a picture of her.
action? Okay, that's her there. Okay. She is beautiful, like that person says there. Absolutely gorgeous.
Yep.
And so
That's the
it
photo I was
looks like
talking
it's a
about. I don't
tight
really.
family. They do a lot of things together and stuff like
Mhm.
that. Of course, we all know YouTube, Facebook, any social media. Okay, people show the good side of things on there, but it really does look like that. Oh, you're the rabbit.
No,
Something
Cristola,
is,
it's
no,
natural to speculate, I think, in this one
yep.
because it is very weird. Like, they look like a very happy, wholesome family, and so what is it behind this that led to this happening? I don't think this was a random act, in my
Mm-mm,
opinion,
no.
that they could have possibly been targeted.
And that's what it sounds like. Hey, PJ, how you doing, my dear? Mwah. How you? But and that's it. That's it exactly. You guys know, Sleuth and I hate the idea of, okay, assuming things or things like that. But we are human, and we are going to, as long as we're recognizing that they are assumptions. But it is scary. It's really scary that, okay, someone would, two parents, like we were saying earlier, Red Rock was mentioning. Okay, why take both of them? Okay, why would both of them be pulled away if it's going to be something for money or something like that? Okay, or someone maybe had gambling debts or something like that. You would usually leave one of the adults there so that they can pay something off. Um, is it something else going? Let's see what we get. Not cupcake. Not that it makes any difference. Are they? And that's a possibility, especially when you're coming into San Antonio and all. We don't know how long they've been. Now we can start getting a better idea. It looks like now that we're able to find stuff. Let's. Oh gosh! Wow! Wow! Baby, right there. And how long ago was that? Someone or people are looking for them. Yeah. And that might,
Oh, I didn't
so
realize I
many.
was muted.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No
I
problem.
I'm
No
trying to,
problem.
like, skip around, that's why I keep pulling it up and down because I
Yeah.
don't wanna necessarily show all of the children. But
Yeah.
this one is
Thank you.
2019, and so but they have had another baby since this one. But this was just a good picture that you could actually see dad's face
See the
pretty
two of
well in.
them. Yeah.
Mhm.
And
So, but yeah, this is so sad. I'm so glad that the family member though came out and said something under one of the
yeah.
articles because like I said, the police haven't given us anything. Not names,
No.
not what they think is going on, not an
Mhm.
APB on this family. Just no information other than that the kids were there and left alone, and that's so scary.
And that's what is scaring me to death is the fact that they aren't doing anything else. They're not doing a follow-up. This was pretty much, in my eyes, this was the main story coming out of San Antonio this morning. If you looked at any of the article, okay, news stations, it was their main story. And then all the, oh, it's okay, Cristola. No problem, my dear. None at all. We don't, Cupcake, and that's the
So
thing. We don't know their names officially. Yeah, go for it.
Officially, we don't know their names.
Yeah.
All I have to go on is the fact that, yes, I did see them doing a yard sale type thing, selling something out in front of the home. They were selling goodies and snacks, like, the kids looked like they had, like, a lemonade stand type thing set up. And so,
Right.
it's Ricky and Samantha Zuniga? I don't know how you would say that, Zuniga. But that is, like that's just us going based off of the Facebook comment, and then based off of this one picture that we seen of this house.
Right.
So, I
Right.
mean, obviously, the police themselves have not put out that information yet,
Reason.
but
And
also looking at that picture of the house, it does have an address in the 3100 block of that street,
right.
just so
So it
okay.
does make, yeah, it is making sense. It makes enough sense that I feel comfortable sharing that here. But it does just why? Why is nothing else being shared? I mean, going into, I'm just typing it up again and see if there's new updates. And it's gone national. There's definitely a lot of updates on a national level, but the actual story itself has not, there's been nothing else added to it whatsoever. And I still have a hard time believing they do not have any ring camera footage or anything, or even just a picture of the vehicle. There's got to be a picture of the vehicle as it's leaving the area. And
So,
why are, yeah,
it looks like it looks like they own a place maybe that you can throw birthday parties and stuff at, like, I see a couple different videos, like, advertising for places like, on their social media, advertising
okay.
for, like, to rent out their facilities, basically. And it just I don't know, could something have happened? I don't know. And see, this is me, like, really reaching now. I'm just looking for some type of explanation because really they
Yeah,
seem like they're just a really happy, wholesome family. Like, I don't see
right.
anything and listen, social media can be very deceptive, right? I mean,
Exactly.
if you look at stuff that we've been seeing recently, like with the 8 passengers and stuff,
Right.
people could put on a very happy, healthy front on YouTube, on Facebook,
Yep.
on wherever, and look fine, but honestly, like, this I don't know, this is really sad. This is really
S-
freaking
Yeah.
sad.
Something is in the fact that nothing's being covered with that. Crystal, it's about 2 hours north of the border is where San Antonio. Tim, thank you so much. Oh my God, Tim, thank you. Ooh, who's getting them? Who we got cut getting memberships? Yay! Love you guys and congrats to those of you who got a new membership. And Tim, thank you. Thank you so much, Tim. And
Hi,
Tim
PJ.
is
Hi, B Tim.
awesome. He is a gracious friend. He really is. He's a great guy. And congrats to those of you who got memberships. If you're on Discord, let me know so I can add you guys to the folder. So, hello, Chris. Hello, Jordan. Hello, everyone who's popping in right now. But yeah, no, that's what's getting me with this whole thing is this looks like a family that is close together. They live in a fairly nice area from what it's looking like. Yeah. Is it connected to the border? Is there, I'll be honest, guys, you can start going into all those things. You do have the cartel, you do have drugs, you do have so many different things that can be going on there. Um could be connected. Could it be something like mentioned earlier? Okay, that wrong person. And but that's interesting. They own their own business.
That's what it
So it's
looks like, yeah. I mean, and like I said, I'm just looking at the surface level of their Facebook right now. I haven't
right.
sleuthed it
We haven't
nearly
gotten
enough.
further. Right.
Mhm. But
And
so it says that the children told police that they did not know or recognize the intruders. Cupcake, I was trying to find the article that you just mentioned though, that they know the names of the 2 men, but no names of the
oh,
missing. Um, are you able to tell us in chat who the 2 men are so that I can
y- that'd be
try
helpful
and
actually.
find that article? Because that's what I was just trying to look for. Because that has to be a newer article, honestly, because I
Yeah.
hadn't seen anything with that.
And maybe that's where we're going. Maybe it's just taking the family to push this, which unfortunately, families pushing the story more, and maybe allegedly. The newest article says allegedly. Okay. Yeah, I'm checking to see if there's newer information being shared anywhere at all. But yeah, San Antonio is 2 hours northwest of the Mexican border. And they do have a lot of issues. We all know there's a lot of various criminal elements. Hey, I love San Antonio. Okay, I visit it at least once a year usually, but there's definitely something going on with this. Let me see the name. We're all kind of researching the whole thing at the same time. So, but yeah, see, earlier the kids were telling the police, this was this morning, that two unknown men broke into the house and forcefully took the two adults. Police said the men fled the home to an unknown location in a white sports utility vehicle. The two adults are believed to be the parents of the juveniles. Yeah. Um,
I don't know
let's
if you
see.
wanna play this, like, just
Yeah.
this news article, sorry, because I
Yeah.
kind of,
Go
like,
for it.
took the information and ran with it a little bit and kind of took you off your news articles and stuff, and I'm so sorry about that, but this one does kind of put the story into a nutshell for anybody who may
Yeah.
just be coming in.
No, you got it. You got it. Is that the thing you sent me in private chat?
Yeah, mhm.
Okay. Perfect. Let me do that. Yeah, no, there's a lot of things and it's still opening. I think as more people start showing interest in it, we're going to start getting more information shared. I'm just happy family is speaking up now, honestly, because if family wasn't speaking up, we'd still be sitting here wondering what the heck was going on. Okay. You guys have seen the right thing. Yeah, you are. Okay. There we go. Okay.
First
Here
at
we go.
4, police are investigating a kidnapping that happened early this morning at a home on the south side. Authorities say 2 people kicked down the front door of a home in the 3000 block of Mission Bell, taking the parents and leaving their 5 children unharmed. Ken's Fives, Mike Jimenez joins us live from police headquarters. And Mike, have the victims been found?
Audrey, unfortunately, no. I did just reach out to investigators a short time ago. They say that they are still actively searching for those 2 suspects, as well as those 2 individuals that were taken against their will. And we did also speak with neighbors who say they are scared and they just hope those 2 people that were kidnapped are found safe.
A quiet morning quickly turned violent for a family living in the 3000 block of Mission Bell.
Suspects kicked down the door, entered the home, and took the 2 adults.
This all unfolded around 6 this morning. The 2 victims lived at the home with their 5 children.
Upon arrival, we located about 5 juveniles, all inside the home. No injuries, they were unharmed.
Police initially responded to the scene for a home invasion, but quickly realized it was a kidnapping.
I
Investigators
wonder pause it
report
for a second.
Yeah. Yeah. No problem. Yeah.
I wonder if it like, if they were all if the kids were awake, like, or at least the
That's,
older children, or if
yeah.
this was, like, literally I mean, I wish that we knew more about the actual
Mhm.
kidnapping part of it.
Well, we're trying to think, okay, it's a Wednesday, school would be in
Right, like,
session,
would
I'm
they be up getting
thinking,
ready for the school bus?
and that's what I'm thinking if they have, especially they said up to 17 they're 17 and below.
Mhm.
So you probably have a high schooler there. Um, what school usually is what 7:30 or so that it starts, estimate. And Were they just waking up? I mean, that's a
Right.
horrible way to wake up in the morning. And of course, they're not going to be focused. They may have gone and hid and not known anything of what was going on. But yeah, how far into the house did the people have to go?
Right.
Did they stop at
And
the
and
kitchen?
that's my thought too, was because if the kids by some chance were not awake and
Yep.
they just kind of woke up to this, could that have been part of why the children weren't taken too? Because
Yeah.
maybe they weren't necessarily out where the adults were.
Right.
Does that make
Right.
sense?
Well, and that's where I'm even having questions within that because I'm thinking, okay, if someone comes in, okay, I could see them. Okay, guys, I'm going into gender thought processes here. The man's going to probably go and protect the house. Okay, he's going to go do that. And mom's most likely going to run and try to make sure the kids are safe. The chances of both of them going to deal with what's going on at the front door, unless they don't know unless they know the person,
Mhm.
that's another option here.
Well, but they kicked the door open. Like,
Open.
they
Yeah,
kicked the
that's
door
true.
in.
Yeah,
And
you're right.
so,
You're right.
were they just, like, kinda standing in the living room or standing in the kitchen and then somebody
Right.
kicked the door in and grabbed them? Either way, there would have been screaming, in my opinion, there would have been some type of
Right.
reaction, but I'm wondering, did the kids just hide? Did they see this all go down? Or did they
Were they
like,
asleep?
were they not there for the actual but then again, the
Right.
kids said that they didn't recognize the men, so
Nice.
at some point they seen it.
Some of the kids definitely had to have seen something.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, just with the fact that they said they didn't recognize but then that shows something too. If they didn't recognize them, they weren't masked or anything like that. And,
True. So that's gonna
which
be
is
on those
interesting.
cameras.
Yeah. It's something is just I'm thinking most people when they come into a house or something. Yes, I agree, Chris. I would love to if I need to open up a folder where we can talk about that whole case, we can definitely pull that off if there's enough people who want to discuss that case. Um, but yeah, no, if you think about just from a criminal point of view, if you're going to be breaking into a house with weapons and with the thought that you are going to run with someone and, would you have a mask on in theory? I don't know, something's weird about this, and I'm not sure what it is yet. I just can't put my finger on it yet, but something I don't know, just
I
something
mean,
is
in theory, you would have a mask on, but then again, if you look at the Rachel Morin case that we're looking at right now that took
right,
place, the individual that they have a video of him leaving
and
the home and
yeah,
leaving a home, I guess I should say, where he had allegedly done an essay and different things like that.
right.
And they have him on camera leaving, no mask, no
Mhm,
nothing, but they
yeah,
still can't identify him.
yeah, that's
Because
true.
all they have is, like, the side profile and stuff, and so if these people knew where the cameras were
Right,
going into this, they might not have had to worry about
that's true.
people seeing things. But at 6
Right.
AM, like, people are leaving from work for work and stuff. This is a very dangerous time of day to do this. Like, you would
Oh
think they would have aimed
gosh.
for, like, 4 or 5 AM or, in the middle of the night so that people weren't awake traveling right around you, leaving for work
Mhm.
and stuff while you're doing it.
Traffic. Yeah,
Mhm.
traffic. It's gotta be. We don't have well, I'm sure we can gather the full address, Chris. But what we are actually
The
being told that
3100 block. Yeah, I
3100
mean,
block.
the
Yeah,
one picture has the house number, but I don't think that we
address.
need
I don't
the
want to
house
share that.
number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do not want to share that. But yeah, 3100 block. And that is out in the suburbs. You're going to be dealing with a lot of traffic at that time of day. That's when traffic's getting bad. That's when it's starting to pick up. Trying to remember when I've been in New Braunfels and all on it's not quite really at its height yet. That's going to happen about an hour later. It's going to start getting worse. But it's just, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on at that time. So let me pull back our and watch the rest of this real quick.
To a white SUV and drove off.
Because of what happened here this morning, neighbors don't want to go on camera. We did speak to one neighbor off
Blame
camera.
them.
He tells us that there's been a lot of activity at this home, and he just hopes the two people that were taken this morning are found safe.
I'm frightened now. I've seen some questionable activity around, but now I'm really, really concerned. And I was just telling my daughter, my adult daughter stays with me with our dog. We got to get out of here. This is not a good neighborhood.
Police are hoping surveillance video
Now that's interesting because I've been looking at the neighborhood and I'm like, oh, it looks like a nice neighborhood. But if neighbors are coming straight out and saying it's not necessarily the safest of neighborhoods, what does worry me is neighbors saying there's been a lot of activity there. Um, that is, you know what, right now, Chris, I'm getting a lot of my information from everything from ksat.com. Basically, any of the San Antonio websites are going to be able to get you the information. But that is Sleuth. I don't know if you're still there or you got
Yeah.
the kiddos, right? You are. What's your thought on that with the neighborhood, especially with that comment? That's throwing me.
I mean, so that's throwing me too because it is a newer build, it is newer, I mean, newish, right?
Right.
Uh, so I don't know, is it just because crime is everywhere right now and so everywhere is bad neighborhoods? Or is this like
That's
or is this bad neighborhood like could that be part of this? Were they part of the bad neighborhood? I don't know. I
right.
don't know. Looking
Well,
at
and
their
that's
family and looking at their
what's
pictures, it just doesn't seem like that to me, but I
no.
don't know.
And is it just that person? And that's it, because it is kind of scary, Crystal, like what you were just saying there. They're saying on the news that people aren't in the neighborhood do not want to speak up. And of
Mhm.
course, I can see that, you know what, just in general, if something like that happened, I'd probably be being pretty quiet also. But when you combine that and also the concern that that lady said about a lot of things that had been happening in that, was there a lot of people coming and going to the house? Were there other issues that we aren't, like you said, Facebook, Instagram, all those places, it's a picture that people want to share. Okay, it's not always what reality is. Okay,
Right.
like with the 8 passengers thing. Okay, you got that all the time where you've got, okay, everyone calling in with all this or that, and you got neighborhoods, you got all this other stuff. But they're only
What
going to show
time
what they wanted to share.
what time did you say that this happened?
The phone call came in at just after 6. That's when the phone call came to the police. But that, well, no, if the kids actually saw it happen, okay, and saw breaking in, then it probably happened between 6:30 and 6:45, I would say. I'm
Right.
guessing, total guesstimate right there. Um,
I'm just
awesome. I'll
curious
take a look.
because I think that so I'm on the one business page that they have that
Yeah.
appears to be their business. It's connected to her Facebook profile and stuff like that. And their last post was 8 hours ago. But you know how Facebook time is. So they're an hour or 2 behind me. And so is
Unless it
it
was a scheduled
because
post.
well, that's what I'm wondering, or if she has somebody else who does social media for her, because I know, like, okay, so if you were to go off of my Sleuth Mom account,
Right.
um, you can't necessarily go by that because other people have access to post from my Sleuth Mom account. And
Right.
so if I were to ever go missing and, well, Sleuth Mom posted a missing poster, 6 hours ago, so she's obviously active. Like, that's not necessarily
No,
true
it's not true.
because I have other people that post for me. And so,
Right.
like, there's different because this is what they do. They rent out the party facility. Let me show you this.
Okay. Okay.
I'll just show you some of these pictures real quick.
s-
They rent out the
Okay.
party facility, and then I'm just gonna show you some of the decorations. And then they decorate and stuff for you and help host your birthday party, it looks like, depending
Okay.
on your theme. And so it just like these were all posted today, these
Okay,
pictures.
yeah, because this would
So
have happened, okay, it's right now almost 10 o'clock, right? 5 times 5 plus 5, yeah, it's almost 10 o'clock. So this happened, what, 16 or so hours ago, 14, 15, 16 hours ago. So that would have had to have been posted by either someone else or an auto post. You know how you can set Canva up to do automatic
Right.
posting of
Oh,
a lot
yeah,
of
that's
things.
true. Mhm.
Yeah. In fact, I've considered that before, and I just have never set it
I
up.
always forget about that option
I know.
because I'm like
Exactly. Since it would really make sense to
I
do it,
rarely use the services that my
pay for
things
it.
that I pay for offer. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. That's how, yeah, no, that's exactly it. So, but yeah, and
Mhm.
someone who was it a few minutes ago mentioned, I don't know if it was Donna or no, it was Jordan. And what type of activity? When they say that and they did kind of give it a negative connotation to it, but was that police activity? Or maybe police were coming to the house because of phone calls or things like that? Was it shady people type activity? There's a lot of different options that that could honestly be. Um, is it an immigrant community, Donna? My thought is it. My suspicion is just knowing Texas and San Antonio is there's probably a fair number of people, okay, possibly from Mexico that come up because you do have a very high immigrant community there. But they're also very sweet people. Okay, I'll be honest. That's I've always said Texas reminds me of Hawaii when it comes because that population has that same aloha spirit, but they also do have a criminal element like any place you go. But yeah, no, that's a great question. And
Looking at their neighborhood just on their road,
it's
there
pretty.
are several houses that are currently for sale. And so just to give you guys an idea, so their neighbor 2 or 3 houses down, their house is going for $264,000. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. And so I'm not sure
Yeah.
comparison-wise, let's see.
That's about average,
That's
I want
about
to say.
standard. Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
that's
So I'm
about
looking at some of
average.
the other listings, and it looks like it is, like, really middle of the road for San Antonio area. And
Yeah,
so
you got it.
it's not necessarily,
It's
you
not
know.
high end, it's not low end, it's
Right.
and we got you, Donna, no problem, no problem. No, and those are the things if you were open and really kind of looking at everything, that's what you have to do. You've got to look at those things.
Mhm.
You're fine, girl. Um, and it's very possible. I know just from my grandmother used to live in San Antonio. Okay, that's okay. I got
Is
family
that a
there.
gated community right there?
I was wondering if it was gay. I didn't see. Okay, let me go back to the
I'm just wondering because the way that these houses are listed, it says,
right.
like, it says their address, and then it says Mission Gate after it. And so I wasn't sure, like, is there a community right there called Mission Gate or
Okay, let me
something
see.
along the I don't know.
Let
We'll have
me
to
pull
drive
this
around for a
out.
minute. Sorry, guys. We
Right.
are, like, actively sleuthing this while we're
Sleuthing. We are.
talking
We
to
are
you.
totally doing that. And I'm trying to remember how do I get out of this? I always screw this part. There we go. Okay.
I wonder, like, go
So
out to the main road there. Go down and to, like, where the highway is, and then
the
click.
side you're thinking right in this area would probably give
Yeah,
me a
like,
good
right where
idea.
the entrances are. Are they
Okay.
It
It's
is.
not
It's like it's kind of like, I mean, the
it's not
walls around it, it looks
the
like.
walls are pretty. It looks like kind of like a site. It's definitely this area is all being
So
constructed.
that photo's a year ago. So go down the street to the
Oh,
next
true.
intersection and see if they have a more updated photo. Because sometimes they'll, like, take them at
Yeah.
different times whenever they're building.
Oh wow, if you just saw that here, new homes. So yeah,
Yep.
it's totally being created. Now the thing is if it's gated, I don't see a lot of gated when I'm in that area.
Oh, there's the Dollar
There's
General.
Dollar General. Let's see what we get down here. Yeah, even the houses have I mean the yards have not established
Mhm.
themselves yet.
Okay.
Okay, wait, what's that right there? I see something right here. See that little
Yep.
I don't know.
Just curious, like, if it's, like, somebody owns, like, the you know, what would
Missions,
they
misiones. I think that's what
yeah.
that's saying. Yeah,
I bet you it is. I bet you it's like
misiones.
somebody bought this, like, little area and just
Right.
built, house after house after house type of
House.
thing.
Yep, exactly. And I'm trying to look at everything else. Okay,
Yeah,
you got a fair
subdivision.
number of, I'm noticing they're above ground swimming pools. They're not necessarily in ground. So that's showing me a difference too, because usually the higher end, you're going to get more of the in ground as
Mhm.
compared to the above ground. Um, but yeah, if you come down into this area, it's interesting here how this one area, it looks like at one time they had planned on having a road go through here, and then
Yeah.
someone built that one instead. So, yeah, the whole area is definitely mission. Team, I don't know if
He
that's
said
connected.
Mission
Oh, it's
Gate
an
is a
auto.
pedestrian park. Hmm.
Interesting. Interesting. Can you check what the neighborhood rating is? I'm not sure how to get that. Anyone know how to
Give
get
me one
it?
second. Yep, I'm
Okay.
working on it.
Okay. Yeah, you got Whataburger here, Jack in the Box, Circle K. Um, what does worry me? Good night, Jordan. Sleep well, my dear. What does worry me is, you know what, no matter what is involved in this case, okay, whether parents were got into something and got in over their head, whether it's unrelated to anything like that, what is killing me inside is the fact that there are at least 5 children, okay, who have the trauma of someone breaking into their house, okay, and at least 5 and most likely more, that if something horrible happens to either of these people, their parents. And it just, that that hurts to know that children are going to bed tonight not knowing what's happened to their children. Zillow. Okay, that makes sense. She's checking out Zillow right
Yeah,
now.
that's where I'm on
Ah,
Trulia.
ah,
It's funny because so every house, almost
right,
every house in their area that is for sale, because it's all like there's several that are there for
right.
sale right now, and it's listed as a safe up and coming neighborhood, basically. And so it's like they're really trying to sell it as
They're
being
trying.
somewhere that isn't, you know.
Yeah. Well, and that's
So, and I
unfortunately,
think that
yeah,
that's in the eye of the beholder too, right? Because somebody who is used to a neighborhood like mine, for example, would go there and think like, "Ooh, this is sketchy." Maybe. You
hmm,
know what I mean? Because I'm used to being in the
right,
middle of nowhere where I have cows for neighbors. You know what I mean? And
right,
so you take somebody like that and then you put them in that area and they might think like, "Ooh, this is not good," or maybe they have had issues with like burglaries or things like that that are going
right,
on. But if you take somebody from San Antonio, from the
right,
city, and you put them in this same subdivision, they're probably
right,
thinking it's safe, right?
right,
So
exactly.
it's all about your perspective, I guess, about how you're looking at it. If these weren't mostly new builds, I would be more concerned about the fact, however, that there are so many for sale in this
Yeah,
little area.
yeah.
Because there's a good bit of these homes are for sale right now. And so is there something happening that made people be like, "Okay, yeah, no, I'm leaving. Like I don't wanna be here for this anymore."
Yeah. Or is it a fresh area that has
Right.
just been, can you tell from Trulia, unless you've already left it, when these houses were built?
So
Uh,
it depends on which one. So like some of them have been sold twice already,
okay.
and that's what I'm looking at. Let's see. This listing that I have up right now, it
Right.
was built 7/8 of 2022. And it's already back up for sale again. And so but you can't necessarily take that into account as like, well, they left because it was bad or whatever.
Right.
They could have had financing issues or something along those lines because that is pretty quick to go back up for sale and things like that.
Right. Right.
Um that's just this one home though. Let me look at a couple more of
Okay.
these.
And to answer Chris's question about Werlina, it's not necessarily, let me pull this back up where I can show you Werlina. Lena was closer into USA Towers, Brook Army Medical Center. Let me see if I can do this.
So this other
Screen.
one that I'm looking at, sorry, while you're pulling that up,
Yeah.
this other one that I'm looking at, was built and originally listed for sale for $335,000, and they knocked the price down all the way until February of 2023. It was removed because it was under contract, and then it went back up for sale and listed again on March 3rd, and it's still sitting for sale. And they have continued to drop the price. It's all the way down to
Wow.
250,000 now. And so it sounds like an investor wanted this to be
Right.
something that obviously it turned out not
Not
happening,
to be.
because they're just not well, and part of the problem is the way our economy is. Nobody can afford
Mm,
to buy homes and stuff like that right now. I
exactly.
mean, then that's a sad reality.
No, that's a good point. And the other is, I'll be honest, the neighborhood my grandparents used to live in was a great neighborhood back then, but now it's totally turned and it's not a neighborhood I necessarily would want to be after hours. And when we go back and visit, to show you right here. So down here, you can see where that area is. The area where she went missing was up in this area. So it's the exact opposite side of San Antonio. So, Brooke Army Medical Center, USA Towers is up in this area. So that might help a little bit for those of you wondering. Um, but there is definitely areas in this way. It is interesting. Oh, it's close to Texas A&M though. I just noticed.
Mhm.
Pretty close to Texas A&M actually. It is a huge city. Yeah, it's San Antonio is so much bigger than people really realize. It really is huge. Um,
So, I just out of curiosity, and I know that this has nothing to do with the crime that took place, but a lot of times that you can take a gander at how the community is, and this is gonna sound horrible, but based on how many sex offenders live in the area, because a lot of times sex
true.
offenders congregate where there is crime,
Yeah,
and I wanna
yeah,
show you.
definitely.
So in that particular neighborhood area, there is one offender, and
Hmm,
his crime, let's see, he
that's
has to
actually
register
one's
for
not
life.
bad.
And that's what I was thinking actually, especially for this, like, I mean, you
Yeah,
get
considering
to
what we
look at
were
this
thinking.
neighborhood right over here and how they congregate, because that's a lot of times what you see. You'll see them
Right,
congregate in these different areas, and so
right,
it's not it's not right in their community though, is what I'm saying. Because like, look at all these homes that there are, and
right,
there's
right.
only really one. Now across the highway on the opposite side, look at all
Hmm,
of them. Do you know what I mean? And so,
that
I don't
is
know.
interesting.
Always pull this up, you guys. If you are getting ready to move and you have children or grandchildren,
Yes,
always check before you buy a home, because
right.
a lot of times this can tell you exactly what type of neighborhood that you're moving into,
Moving
because
into.
these offenders, like, they want to live, they don't necessarily
They
go to
want to live where
places where
they
there's
people won't, yeah.
where
People
they'll
aren't going to
blend
be
in.
looking at them. They're going to, yeah, exactly.
Right.
People aren't going to be questioning things as much. I'm looking right now if there's schools. I actually don't see much on a school level in that area,
Mhm.
which is interesting. I thought, well, maybe one of the reasons why you're not seeing that is because there's a school nearby, but not really
No.
seeing that. Yes, Cassie, I see you. But yeah, no, that is always a possibility there. Ooh,
There's
we got a
only 2
Sonic.
entrances into that area too. It's the Pasadena Pass and Mission Gate. Like, there's not
Wow,
there's only so
you're right.
either way, whoever did this, they
Yeah, pull that one
they
up.
would have
Yeah,
been
show you
seen coming
guys.
or going, because there's only
Yeah,
2 entrances.
they basically, yeah, to get out, you are literally just going out this way or that way. Maybe, yeah, no. Well, here, I guess you could go.
If you were
No, there's no,
walking. No,
you could even,
it's all
yeah,
dead end.
walking, but that's it. It
Mhm.
dead ends there. Yeah, it dead
Yep,
ends.
because
Looks like
they
they
have a lot of
wanted to have that.
cul-de-sacs going on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow. Wow. So yeah, so there's, and what are the chances? I guarantee you there's got to be, well, there's no video. Well, we don't know. This was a year ago also.
Mhm.
Um, but that Dollar General may have had
No,
cameras,
they don't put
and
cameras on the outside of
they
their
don't.
buildings. Mm-mm.
I didn't know
No,
that.
because it's a
Okay,
liability.
that
That
makes
was something
sense.
that we were fighting to get actually whenever I was a
Yeah,
store manager because we had so many people, like, overdosing
right.
and doing all types of crime in the parking lots. And then we had several times that the one store that I was over, it kept getting robbed. And so we were like, "When are you guys gonna put cameras in this building or on the buildings or whatever?"
Yes.
And they told us it's a liability because then they have to answer to, "Well, my car got dinged," or,
Oh my
whatever, and
God.
so they don't like cameras in their parking lots. Now
Wow.
unless they're at an extremely high theft, high whatever store, but they really still most Dollar Generals, I would say you're not gonna see cameras on the
See
outside, and so
cameras
if you're a
there.
criminal, don't listen to me say that because it's the truth
Exactly.
now. So
Wow.
mhm.
Wow, wow, wow. So, oh, thank you, Donna.
Uh,
I love the Wednesdays because I love to sit here and just talk back and forth with Sleuth. It's so much fun actually. So, and also the Crystal. True though, true though. And hey, it works out, it works. Yeah, I'm trying to see what else is in this area that they might be able to go up. I just moved the button. And so, yeah, there's not much in this area whatsoever. I would love to see a more updated version though, because this is
right,
definitely an
it's still a
older
year
video.
ago.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. So, it would be interesting. But yeah, it really worries me right now because we aren't hearing much. Hopefully, the family is now going to start speaking up. Okay, it sounds like the family is trying to say, hey guys, you know what? Someone needs to speak up for their sister, brother, whatever it is. And on hopefully we'll get more information because I just can't help but feel for these kids who are going to sleep tonight, not knowing where both mom and dad are. Both of them were taken at the same time. Not to mention, could you see being a small little one and the fear of knowing someone broke into your house to begin with and for this to happen? How far are they from the interstate? I was wondering
Right there.
when yeah, they are
It's
right
right
there.
there.
Yeah, actually, here is where this was. It
Mhm.
didn't, it got moved over some, but yeah, doesn't take much to get onto the 410 right there. And
No.
High Priestess, that's the problem. No one had heard this story. In fact, I'll be honest, when I started looking at this to cover, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be everywhere by the time we go live. And I'm like, no, no one
No. You know
is
why though?
covering
Because 'Cause
this.
they're all talking about the escaped convict right
Oh,
now
that
in
too. Yeah.
PA, and
Yes,
because
true.
listen, let me pull up this video and show you guys real
Yeah.
quick if you
Go
haven't
for it.
seen it.
Go for that. Yes.
And we won't deep dive because we've already been for a while now, but this video of this guy escaping is like some serious Spider-Man crap. Like, I gotta show you this because it's
Spider-Man,
yeah,
Spider-Man.
it's crazy. Let me
Oh my gosh. Yes, definitely. That'll be a great way for us to kind of pull all this stuff together. And also, are they staying with family, Donna? And she's doing that. We don't know where the kids are now. We're not sure if they went to stay with family or if they were pulled out into another location. Hopefully, family.
yeah.
Okay, here we go. Let's watch Spider Man.
So, like, I don't know what he has tucked behind his shirt, but watch this. They're outside in between these 2 buildings, and look at him. Like, how long did it take him to realize, like, "Hey, I'm that same height. I could probably do this."
That's nuts. That is freaking
Yep.
nuts.
He just climbs up, and then you see a shadow drop down on the side here, like he's just gone at that point.
And the
But they're
strength, he
worried.
doesn't look like that strength. He doesn't look like, yeah, oh yeah, the worry with him just
Well,
based off his background.
the worry with him is, yeah, that he is out there looking for justice and looking for revenge and stuff like
Right.
that. trying to, and then that's why he's out there. And so they've been searching for him. I've been keeping an eye on it, but I obviously I was dying this weekend, so I haven't been able to cover it at all.
Yeah,
But this
exactly.
is on the opposite side of Pennsylvania from where I am, and they
Oh,
think that he is staying like in that same general vicinity. Like they
mhm.
don't think that he has left that area in Chester, PA really yet. Not that I have
Wow.
seen anyways, but whenever they released this video, I was like, why would you put this video out there for other criminals to be like, "Holy crap, that's a good idea."
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Start working on that upper body strength and all that stuff.
right.
Chris, yeah, okay, got it. Yeah, you know what gets me with this? Yeah, he doesn't have much to lose when you get people, and his past history shows just how far he's willing to go. And all. So you
Dynamite,
think
that's
he's
scary.
completely
You used to
lost?
live right
Mm.
there? That's crazy. So you're probably
Oh,
really watching this, Dynamite.
Donna. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Oh, yeah, that's real, Cristola. He for real escaped prison and got out. You think he's completely lost and disoriented? I I don't know. I mean, honestly, he's gotta be getting, like, hungry, tired, cold,
Oh
unless
God,
somebody's
yeah.
helping him.
And well, and you wonder, is he on any medications or anything like that?
Well, and I'm
Because
wondering
he's
if
not
he's
now.
injured. If he's injured at all, because he did have to push through a razor wire, climb another fence, and
Yes.
push through more razor wire as he escaped, and so, I'm curious if that's
Action.
part of why he hasn't, like, taken off and gone anywhere because he's just,
That would
I don't
make
know.
sense, especially whether he's developed any infections or whatever. It would make sense why he is kind of hunkered down like that. Wow. And now, Crystal, I know it. Cristola, Cristola doesn't. It's like, oh my gosh, this is getting. Yeah, it's scary though. It is scary
Mhm.
when you see things like that. I mean, Hawaii, we're right now dealing with. Oh gosh, I think we've now had 2 murders in OCCC in the last month, and that's not something that happens routinely here. I know it does on the
Right.
mainland, but it's not a normal. Something is just got people going off of the walls lately, or up the walls in this case. But yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. So
Well, and he's been out there. I mean, he was gone for an hour before they even noticed that he was missing, so he had time to, like, get away.
well,
But
yeah,
they've seen him on cameras different places. The last time I think was September 4th, that
yeah,
they had seen him, and he was, like, less than 2 miles away
yeah,
from where the jail was still, and that's why I thought, did he get hurt at some point, or did he have somebody stash him supplies there, and so he's just hanging out in that area?
yeah.
I don't know why, like, I mean, Casey and Vicky White, whenever he escaped, he at least
Yes,
attempted to go somewhere. They at least left the area. Now,
yeah.
I think they were idiots because they didn't go. I mean, listen, if I ever get put into jail and I escape, like, I'm not gonna go 2 miles away. I'm definitely not gonna go
Exactly.
100 miles away and then hold up in a hotel for 10 days,
That'd be a
which is what
problem.
they were
Yeah.
trying to do, but
Exactly. Oh
I'll
my
be
god, I
gone.
remember that. Yeah, exactly. That was what, about a year ago, year and a half now? Year
Mhm.
and a half
Yeah, it's been
maybe.
a while now.
So yeah, but that is the thing. Okay, was he just hanging around in the area long enough where he felt like he can get out because people have kind of spread out in their search, so maybe he feels he's safer now to go out.
Yeah,
But yeah, he didn't look like he was totally hurt or anything, but that's why
right.
I'm thinking if there was any injury type of thing, could it be that he had cut himself and developed an infection or something later? And
Mhm.
that's why at the beginning it was easier for him to get around because yeah, getting through the razor wire, he had to have gotten some level of cut from it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Red
maybe
Rock
not.
said that
Yeah.
he's stolen food, picked up a hoodie, backpack, duffel bag. He's on the
Yep.
trail cam, right?
Wow. It's in the country, lots of woods and rolling hills. It's all twisty back roads.
Mhm. So,
Who did he murder? Was it his girlfriend or am I
hold on.
confusing cases?
Uh,
I know there was
he
another case
Yep.
out there, but I
He
thought it was
killed his
girlfriend.
girlfriend to stop her from telling the police about charges against him in Brazil. He was captured in Virginia, and he was authorities believe he may be trying to return to his home country.
Yeah. Yeah, as Chris was saying, it was the murder charges in Brazil. So yeah, so and that's why I'm saying he's already got murder charges before. Then with his girlfriend, I mean, this guy doesn't have much to lose, and he's shown in the past. Yep, you already got that. Yep, OMG, totally. So, but anyhow, so yeah, there's a lot, and that is where right now people are focused very heavily, like you were saying. No one is focusing on the San Antonio bit because of the fact you've got a lot going on with him. You got a lot going on with okay, the 8 passengers stuff.
Mhm.
You've it's just
Well, that's
unfortunate.
that's
Yeah.
part of the problem with, like, the way that, our news cycle works
Mhm.
because the hot case comes out and everybody dogpiles on that one case, but part of it is because we all wanna say our opinion on it, we all wanna look at it,
Yes.
and once you hear a story, you want more information, right? You sent me this article and I was like, "Wow, that's crazy," and then I
Yeah.
just got time to sit down and actually dig, and so
Yeah.
that's why we were actively digging and looking at it because
And
that's
things are
what our
starting to
mind
break
wants.
now. Yeah,
Mhm.
things are now slowly starting to break, and we're getting more of the things. And that's even I was even telling my mom, not just YouTube and true crime, but if you look at disasters, okay, we've been talking Maui, 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 and then we have the hurricane, and now it's hurricane, 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 and then something else is going to happen and it's going to switch. And that's just, it's human nature, how we bounce around from thing to thing. And yet nothing ever changes. Maui's still dealing with stuff. People are going to still be dealing with a hurricane. Same with all the true crime stuff. Okay, just because we move on to a different case doesn't mean the case disappears.
Right.
And that's where we do go back and we want to revisit things as they pop up over and over
Mhm.
and over. So yeah,
Heck, I'm
you
still
got it.
waiting for the verdict in the Henry Dinkins trial, so we're
There
just
you
on
go.
standby.
I just want Ariel's case to go to
I
trial.
know.
That's all I
Yeah.
want. That one's driving me nuts. So, and also, but no, you got it. So, well, I know we have been going for an hour and 10, and we're trying to work on getting our time down, but we're not doing really well on that,
Sorry.
are we? We go into these lives, it's like, okay, I hope we have enough information to go for like 30 minutes and then we continue. That's why I love it. I
You
mean,
know what we need to
Nicole,
do
you
is
and
come
me.
up with a certain type of ending where we're like, "And that was true crime with Sleuth and Locumi."
Look at
And
my
then we can cut out all of our chit-chatting at the end that we do and
exactly.
just have
Yes.
that little closing be right
We'll
there.
have that. That might be something we can look at. Oh, yep. Yes, Jet's mom, you always have a way of sneaking in right here at the end. I love you, girl. I love you. And also, yeah, there's still so much going on. Evansdale. Yes, Chris. Yes. So many different, and that's the thing. You can't cover all the different cases, but what we
Mhm.
can do is try to see what's going on. And
Right.
also, that's what friends are for. Is that still us? So, okay, gang. Well, no, thank you guys so much. Hopefully, we'll hear more. I'm sure Sleuth will update you. I'll update you if we hear more information coming out of Texas on this case. Hopefully, we'll hear more. Hello, Princess Megan. How you doing, my dear? And other than that, though, I hope you guys have a great. I want to, Tim, if you're still here, thank you so much for the gifted memberships. And for those of you who got gifted memberships, yay! And thank you, Tim, for that. So, you got anything else you want to share before we wind up and finish
Nope.
this up? Nope.
And that's been True Crime with Locumi and
Okay.
Sleuth Mom. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.
Aloha. Bye.